I'm the person that you're protesting for, ostensibly. But I chose to serve my country and do it the way that you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to find a way to serve, not destroy. My name is Sherman Gillums. I joined in 1990 at the age of 17 and got out in 2002 in the U.S. Marine Corps.
What is your thought when you initially saw that these sacred memorials were being vandalized and desecrated?
Well, first of all, it drips of sad irony because especially the men of World War II, and in many cases women, they fought for the right to protest, to assemble, to have those rights that the Constitution guarantees. So I'm going to say something that's going to surprise you. My father was killed by a police officer when I was a year old, back in 1973. And what I wanted to do to remedy the void that left in my life was fill it with something productive that was going to make society better for my son, who can now walk along these grounds with me, and I can talk about how far this country has come. Even though we encourage protest as people who served in the military and fought for that right, what we don't encourage is to spit on the memory of the people who gave them that very ability. This is something different. This is something unnecessary, and it's actually counterproductive because what it does, it takes people like me who support the right to protest, and when it goes beyond limits, it's almost as if we're better off not having those protests happen the way they're happening. I want to see change, but I don't want to see change at the expense of remembering the people who were a part of the foundation of this country. What they forget is there was a time when you could serve in this country, not have all your rights, and a lot of people still served. They're just as much a part of this. They fought for their identity as fighting persons, as people who served. They came back, and eventually society did better. Well, this rolls back the clock even worse than what happened in the history books, because you're reminding people that you can just spit on their service and take away what they earned by fighting on foreign soil by doing this. So there are Black Americans, there are Asian Americans that fought along white Americans who are hurt by what happened here, and we don't want to see that. So I want to make it clear that while I support the protesters who are in it for the right reasons, that among them, there do exist people who are doing it for the wrong reasons. And just like we're asking police officers to hold their fellow police officers accountable, those protesters need to be just as self-policing as we're expecting other folks to be who were a part of this problem as well. My message specifically to the people who are trying to usurp this movement and this cause is you're not just part of the problem, you're an even bigger problem, because there was a change imperative before this that led to this, and there's a possibility things can get better. This will not help that. This will actually undermine everything that all of us are trying to do, whether you're white, black, whatever color. We all want to see this happen, but the one way this can go wrong or get worse is to have the threat of anarchy try to fill the void where systemic racism once sat. This isn't good for the movement. This is actually making it worse. If you're among those who see this as an opportunity to inject disrespect for tradition, for heritage, and again, this is a black, a white, brown, red, yellow heritage that we're talking about, then you're worse than the people who got us here. Because those people at least may learn, at least they'll be changed, or at least they'll not want this to happen again.